Oh, you already know what this is about. Alright? You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? You see that? You see where I'm going, right? You see where I'm going, right? Yeah, Black Panther. Just want to do a little bit of reflecting about Africa and Africa, slavery, body positive movement, fat shaming, Western Hemisphere, medicine and food. Now, as we all know, Africa is rich in its resources, the grains of salt, from the grains of the sand up into the precious stones and rubies and diamonds. The men, the women, the children are all beautiful. Our religion, our culture, our traditions are all beautiful. Now, during slavery, of course, we lost all of that, and we were introduced to a new type of religion and culture, and we were introduced to new types of foods. And we was injected with a lot of poisons coming into the Western Hemisphere. So now the body positive movement in Africa, I want to try to correlate the two together. I'm just going to try to make sense of it the best way that I can. The women in Africa in certain tribes were typically plus size women or bottom heavy women, and they were beautiful, and they were super curvy. And some might even say that they were aerodynamically shaped, as if they were ready for takeoff. Like, I remember one time I had a dude say, dude told me, black women, man, if you look at black women, they're like aerodynamically shaped, like goddesses, like they're just ready for flight. And it had me thinking. I said, that does kind of make sense, because when you look at black women, you see that they are super curvy and aerodynamically shaped at the same time. You know what I'm saying? The women were plus size, but here's the kicker to it. The kicker to it was that the foods back then, before slavery and during slavery, the foods, they didn't have all this processed GMO bullshit in it. You wasn't gaining weight around your hips and your ass and your thighs and stomach, and it was becoming a health issue. You were basically designed to be thick and curvaceous. You know what I'm saying? You had to go out there and survive, and to know where your next meal was coming from. So as a survival technique, the DNA of the body would develop a mechanism to say, hey, we don't know where the next meal may come from, so we're just gonna store fat. And in the female, the fat went into like her thighs and her ass, and some stomach and things like that. But most of the fat was stored for energy. And that had nothing to do with the amount of processed foods or harmful foods, because you should know, back in the 1800s, 1600s, 1700s, there were no processed foods. So like, if you seen a woman and seen pictures, in illustrations of African women back then, you notice they were curvy, and that was all natural. It was no health issue. So now, 2018, it's the body positive movement versus the fat shaming. So now they don't want you to win. They don't want you to be curvaceous and plump and full-figured and be confident about it. They want you to be skinny. They want you to fit in with them. They want you to look like them, because if you don't look like them, you're threatening. Your hips, your ass, and your thighs, it's a magnetic attraction, and it scares the shit out of people. So they'll say, we can't have this. Oh, she's unhealthy. This is not healthy by Western standards and things like that. The poisonous foods that we eat, the processed foods, the sugars, the milks and things like that, all that contributes an unhealthy diet, and all that contributes to diseases and things like that. And, it does contribute to a certain amount of weight gain. But naturally, black women were always voluptuous. Always. Like I said, since slavery. Look at Sargie Bartman. Look at Sarah Bartman. Go read her story. And you'll see that she was super duper voluptuous. You'll see that she had a huge ass, some huge thighs. She had some stomach, and she had a small waist. So when white people saw that for the first time, they couldn't fathom that. They said, yo, shit, man, what is this? Like, we so used to our women having pancake butts. So when they saw that, they lost their minds. And needless to say, she was raped. She was sold into a zoo, and all she wanted to do was just make money, and take care of herself. And, they pimped her out, in the worst way possible. They even saved her bones and examined them shits and kept them shits on display. Like, after she died, they took her apart and was still trying to like figure, well, how could this woman be so thick and curvy like that and walk around? We've never seen that before. That shit blew their minds. And a natural black woman, a goddess almost, if you will. So they took a goddess and they took advantage of her. That's like, you know, do Supergirl. You know what I'm saying? You come to Earth and you be friendly with motherfuckers and they want to figure out how the fuck can she fly? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they'll corrupt the minds, they'll kidnap you and dissect you. Hey, that's what they do, you know, with the alien movies now. Alien spaceship lands, they drag the alien out. You know, people have a fucked up way of thinking, and that's what they did to that sister. Black women are beautiful, okay? And yo, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these insecure, hateful motherfuckers out there that got something to say, that's scared of your magnetic attraction on this earth. You know, they will tear you down and say, you have no right to be here. You have no right to be here because you are fat. Let me tell you, those hips, those thighs, I mean, that ass of yours is beautiful. Those curves are beautiful in your natural state. I have nothing else to say about that. Other than Black Panther is going to be a dope ass movie, and you can see it already, baby. Black royalty, son. Peace.